Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy, and this is the original that we're lifting, and it's dear to my heart because I have all of those stamps. I love this style where the mixed media kind of peeks out from under the photo, and everything, both the mixed media, the florals and the little label tags there, everything draws your attention to the photo. And in this case, the colors of the background are pink and yellow, and in the photo she's wearing a blue dress, so that kind of stood out to me. It really makes the photo stand out. So my photo that I'm going to use is this one. It's a filtered photo of my husband, and the background is several shades of blue, and of course there's a lot of pink and reddish, tones in his face. So I actually thought I was gonna go and off camera I did some mixed media, just very simple, which is the same thing I'm going to do for the background. Brushed on some Distress Oxide and then spritzed it with water to get the water reactivity. These are the bad flowers that I did not use. I've cut the flowers here, and to be honest, I'm not thrilled with the how it picked up the colors. It's not bad. It's the colors that I'm going to be using in the background, but I'm kind of missing the yellow that's in this one, and the pink is too faded out. So I've got a way to fix that. I also did some mixed media by spraying some Dina Wakley Gloss Spray in lime, and then I did some splatters in yellow, also gloss spray, on a different piece of paper, the other half of the one that I cut these out of. And that's what I cut the leaves out of. So I really kind of like how they turned out. And I cut some labels out of both the green and yellow and the pink and blue. So let's get started now doing the background. I'm actually going to put that right there. The photo's going to kind of go there, so I want my mixed media to be sort of a T, kind of going down this way and then kind of out that way. So I'm going to start brushing on some, and I've added in a brighter pink. I've picked raspberry. I had used worn lipstick and tattered rose because I was intentionally trying to keep it light. And I actually had started with spun sugar and tattered rose, and then I added the worn lipstick. Now I'm adding pink raspberry. Or picked raspberry, not pink raspberry. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of the this is tattered rose. It's the color I like the least of the ones that I'm planning to use. So I don't mind if it gets a little bit covered up. I'm going to go around it with what I think is a prettier color, the spun sugar. And I'm going to kind of go around over in here. I'm going to try to rub that in right down there, and then I'll be doing some splattering, of course. I'm going to go with the worn lipstick. This is a kind of a darker color. I'm going to weave it in and around, and that's the one that I would like. It has the Worn Lipstick and Picked Raspberry have the most blue in them. So when I start adding blue, I'll put the blue kind of up next to those. So you can kind of see that I'm getting the shape I want here. And I'm just going to use a little bit of this, and I'm going to kind of do it in swirls. And kind of try to blend the edges in. Okay. So that seems to be shaping up okay. Now let's go with the blues. I started with Tumbled Glass, and I'm gonna kind of do a little of that kind of by the lighter pinks, but I kind of don't mind having that kind of blue shadowing effect underneath there. And then all of this can kind of get blended. Okay, here I'm going to go ahead and do just some okay. That actually doesn't look bad itself, but I'm gonna spritz with water, particularly around where I want the colors to kind of blend. And that will give me the kind of watery effect, watercolorish effect. And of course, doing this kind of brings those colors down. And so I'm going to add a little more in with the brush. And then I'm going to go to a splattering process with the blue here in the tray, and I just kind of rubbed a little onto this plastic tray, and I'm going to get it on my fairly wide floppy kind of paintbrush. So I'm going to go, I've got some of the brush hairs. So I'm doing blue, and I'm gonna kind of do some painted on big splotches, and there's enough water on my brush that it'll kind of read as just a splotch that kind of fell there. And okay, so I'm going to clean my brush, but as I'm switching to pink, having a little blue on the brush isn't gonna hurt anything. What I want now is the Picked Raspberry kind of over on the same, let me make sure that this is on camera without actually getting the tray on top of my splotches. So I'm gonna spray on there and kind of get this wet and get a few pink splatters, and now irregular shaped splotches. And this is not exactly replicating what the original was. It just gives us that kind of a background that it gives us the colors that I think will guide the eye to the photo. I'm hoping that's the case. Anyway. Okay, there. Now, I'm going to dry this off. And now, a completely different medium, I'm going to add a couple colors. I'm going to add this yellow gloss spray. And it's kind of, and I'm going to add a dark color too. I want this yellow in there. But I'm going to blot it up. But what I'm not going to blot up are the dark, this is a color called Night. It's kind of a really, really dark purplish blue. And that's going to add some splotches or some splatters kind of after the fact, after I've got everything else on. So I'm going to now put the photo where I intend for it to be. And then I'll start adding these guys in, and then I'm going to add some color to them after the fact. So, got this one. I'm going to kind of put it, I'm actually going to cut it in half. And then I'll put it right here. And then I've got this other half. Okay, let me get my tape. And I'm using this tape instead of dipping into my foam container, because this will stick to the slightly wet paper there. Okay, I've got another half of that. I'm gonna kind of let it be right here. And then I'll take one of the small flowers and kind of overlap the photo with it. And again, I can go back in and add some color where it looks like they need it. There. And let me do one of my little labels. Kind of put it right there. And then I'm going to take a small flower, get one that's got a lot of white in it, kind of up there, and it's going to kind of bridge that, and I'm going to have a leaf sprig, pretty much following the original now. I'm going to do the leaf sprig so that it overlaps the photo, excuse me, not the photo, but it underlaps one of the flowers and overlaps the other one. So I'm not crazy about that placement. I'm going to let it go under there and over kind of off to the side like that. And I'm going to put this You're Amazing label. I thought I had cut off a big piece of foam tape, but I guess I've used it all. I'm going to put this up over on the other side. I'm still not crazy about the colors. Okay, that looks okay there. Let's see, I'll use this big one, maybe coming down that way. And you may be able to hear Reese barking. I'm going to overlap there. I'm going to do another leaf sprig right here. And do that there and curl that up. That's actually at exactly the same angle as this one, and I don't like that. So I'm going to have it kind of coming down like that. And then I want to do a big flower, or at least 3/4 of one, maybe like this right here, and then overlap or have kind of popped up one. Let's do it kind of like that, and then I'll have a leaf sprig kind of coming out this way. Let me do one that has a little more green on it. I'll do it like that and put a little bit of foam. So that it holds the whole thing up. There. I'm gonna do a You're Amazing tag kind of right under here. Wow, there's a lot of noise out there. Let's see if I can kind of get that there, and then I'll pull this flower up over it. And then I'm going to do another maybe small flower here. I didn't count, I just kind of stamped whatever would fit. And let me do another of these. Another You're Amazing. I'm going to put it coming out right there, and I will have a leaf sprig here. It's just kind of a, this is a quick and fun technique, I think, that kind of ends up looking a little bit like you spent more time on it than you did. So that's my, I needed one of those. I had some really time-consuming ones. Let's see, get that, sneak that enough under there so that the foam doesn't show. Let's see. I need another leaf sprig there. And I'm going to put foam on the leaves themselves to kind of hold them up. There. And I'm going to do another little good stuff right there. And one more flower, I think, or maybe half a flower. And this, of course, is a memory page about John. I'm actually going to include a couple things that are not in the original design. Let's do this little flower maybe here, or I'll maybe have it coming off the page. I'll cut it with my trimmer so that it's straight up against the page, like right there. That's perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to add, well, actually, let me add some color to the flowers before we go any farther. I'll get these, I've got this kind of the ink left over from when I did some of the other stuff there, and I'm just gonna kind of randomly color in some of these guys. Just get a little bit brighter pink on here. And have it look like it was watercolored on. And in some cases, I'm actually losing the spotting that was on there, and that's okay. Let me do a little bit more of the picked raspberry to kind of get some more color. This one, I'm just going to have it kind of radiating from the center, and again looking kind of watercolory. And here I'll put some of these on there, and I'll do the same thing to this. And I'll do another one kind of coming out from the middle, right in there. And this one, I kind of like the little polka dots in it, so I'm not gonna do, I'm only gonna paint in the petals that don't have any polka dots. And most of them have polka dots, so I'm not doing a lot of painting. Okay, so I think that's a little bit brighter. I haven't brightened that up any at all. So let me try that and see what I can do. I'll do something from the middle and maybe kind of brush it out. I'm running out of paint, don't really want to, or ink, don't really want to put any more in there. Okay, so that's that. I now want to cover my photo, and I wish I had a piece of packaging. Let me look in my trash and see if I have anything small enough. That should work. That is packaging. That's used to be a sheet of enamel dots. So now I'm going to add these sprinkles, and these will go pretty much all over the page. And I don't want them to be heavy. But just something that kind of adds a little spice to the total composition. If it gets on the leaves and the flowers, so much the better, or in the little signs, but I don't want it on the photo. So now I'll pick this guy up with my tweezers. Okay, I think I'm done, except for the title, which is going to go right there. And it's, like I said, it's kind of a in memory of John kind of page. But I do, like I said, have a couple little extras because of that. I've got this little Cupid, which is a Bramble Fox thing. Valentine's Day is coming up, and this is, in a way, a Valentine. I will be a mess on Valentine's Day, as I was last year, because the 8th is the anniversary of his death, and it's already getting hard. So I just thought this was great. I have a basic problem. Actually, let me do this so that the arrow is pointing at him, and then I can do the title. I can kind of sneak this under here, and I can do the title down a little bit lower, and the title's just gonna say Memories, and I'm gonna use this these stickers from a Vicky Bouton collection. I think it's Color Study. And the letters are not black, they're really dark navy blue, which kind of match the splatters that I put on. And I'm really loving that there's a little yellow in there. And I have some seagulls also from Bramble Fox. And I want to use those because I happen to know that this photo was taken at the beach. With the close-up, you can't tell, and it won't mean anything to anybody but me. But it's going in my album. so I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to do. Okay, let me get the dot. And the dot, I think, has a hole in it. Just have to pull that out. Okay, now I have two Flair that I want to use. One is blue and one is pink, and those were kind of my color scheme. And I thought maybe I could use, let's see, maybe I could use the Flair as a kind of a background for the, maybe like that, and have it kind of out in here, maybe right there. And that one has, I can do that, and then I'll glue this on there. And then I've got this mermaid one. That one is, I think, Bouquet Winter. And this one is Mermaid. And I thought maybe I'd use this one down here. And I can have this guy kind of flying up towards the photo. Okay. Again, the idea is to draw your attention to the photo. And that's not one of John's happiest or most smiley photo, but it's one that I love because it kind of shows that, sort of studious, serious side of him. And the smiling photos are wonderful, but he always did those for me. This one was one that kind of looks like I caught him. It looks like a more candid shot. So that's it. I'll bring it up for a detail look, and I hope you liked it. I'm happy with it. In the end, I wasn't sure, and it's close to this. I should have said, okay, there's no yellow and pink here in this photo, so I'll use yellow and pink. And I should have used the original color scheme. I think I'd have liked it better. I liked this color scheme better than this one. So, lesson learned. And I hope you'll stick around and check out everybody who's playing along this week. And I'll see you next Friday for Mixed Media Frenzy. Bye.